Hi there football fans, welcome to Goalside. Before we start, don't forget to participate in our lottery for a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to our channel and write the hidden message you'll find later in the video in the comments. Good luck! In one of the biggest sensations of all time, Leicester City did the impossible. They won the Premier League ahead of footballing superpowers such as Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal and other richer English clubs. Leicester's Premier League title is cited as the biggest upset we've ever witnessed. This is because of the fact that the league takes 38 fixtures, and there are no bad days that can knock you out, and a short good run doesn't mean anything, as you must keep up an excellent form throughout the entire season. So how did it happen? Well, Leicester were a championship team in 2014, competing in the second division of English football with hopes for Premier League promotion. The hopes weren't that high because the club had suffered a heartbreak the season before. Playing in the promotions playoff, the Foxes had the lead in the last seconds in the semi-final against Watford, and Knockout even shot a penalty to confirm Leicester's win and the promotion. Instead, one of the biggest twists in football happened, when the player missed a penalty only for Troy Deeney to score on a counter-attack and crush Leicester's dreams and ambitions. Interestingly enough, Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy were the bench warmers for Leicester that day, which seems ridiculous from this perspective, as the duo are perhaps England's best strikers at the moment. Nevertheless, even after a tough defeat, Leicester managed to recover the season after, and qualified for the Premier League directly without even participating in the playoff. The club were back in the top division for the first time since 2004, and the ambitions were high. However, the reality was a lot different, and Leicester looked like prime relegation candidates as the season approached. And even the 7-point deficit with just 9 games remaining in the league pointed to the fact that Leicester are probably past tense in terms of Premier League competition. Oh, were we all wrong. In another historic run, the Foxes won 7 out of the last 9 league matches, saving themselves in the top division and giving themselves a lifeline to improve for the next season. And then, it was on. When people talk about Leicester's secret to the Premier League success, one man is cited as the source of it all: Steve Walsh. He was the head of recruitment at the time, operating on a low budget, but almost never making the wrong move in the transfer market. This resulted in him bringing N'Golo Kante, Shinji Okazaki, Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez, amongst others, to Leicester City. The season after staying in the league, a key signing happened. Kante joined the club. The hard-working midfielder from France didn't have a spectacular career that would point to him becoming world-class one day. However, Walsh saw something in him, and the manager, Claudio Ranieri, noticed it right from the get-go. Kante couldn't stop running on the pitch, ever. There's a funny anecdote from the pre-season training after the Frenchman joined the club, as Ranieri himself once told it. This player Kante, he was running so hard that I thought he must have a pack full of batteries hidden in his shorts. He never stopped running in training. I had to tell him, "Hey, N'Golo, slow down, don't run after the ball every time, okay?" He says to me, "Yes, boss, yes, okay." 10 seconds later, I look over and he's running again. I tell him, "One day, I'm going to see you cross the ball and then finish the cross with a header yourself." Kante was impeccable in the title-winning season. Him and Danny Drinkwater were the main midfield plugs in charge of breaking up the opposition attacks and initiating counter-attacking moves for Leicester. When talking about Leicester's triumph that season, you cannot omit the crucial factor in this, the goal-scoring part. And for that, the Foxes had 2 world-class players up front, ready to score and create goals against anyone and anywhere: Jamie Vardy and Riyad Mahrez. Now, as much as Leicester's rise throughout the divisions is a sensation for itself, Vardy's transformation from non-league player to the leader of the Premier League winners is something else. Aged 23, Vardy was still playing for Stocksbridge Park Steels, and playing for Halifax and Fleetwood Town in the seasons after certainly didn't sound as if the striker will be the next big thing in English football. Him flourishing and making his way throughout the leagues from 9th Division to the Premier League is a storybook fairy tale about a hard worker, who by his own admission drinks 3 Red Bulls before every match, even though it's technically not recommended health-wise. Vardy once claimed, "With a traditional 3 PM Saturday kickoff, I'll have a can of Red Bull as soon as I wake up, which is gone in 30 seconds. I don't eat breakfast and won't eat anything until I have a cheese and ham omelette with baked beans at 11:30 AM. I wash that down with another Red Bull, which I also neck quickly. We get into the dressing room an hour and a half before kickoff, and I'll have a 3rd can of Red Bull straight away." Similar to Kante, Vardy is running constantly on the pitch, pressuring the opponent and scoring mercilessly. In fact, he was so deadly that he had a run of 11 consecutive Premier League games where he scored each time, breaking the record and winning the PFA Player of the Year award, and to top it all off, he received an English squad call-up for the European Championship 2016. Ranieri described him perfectly as well. Jamie Vardy, for example. This is not a footballer, this is a fantastic horse. He has a need to be free out there on the pitch. I say to him, you are free to move however you want, but you must help us when we lose the ball. That's all I ask of you. If you start to press the opposition, all of your teammates will follow you. And the third player as the leader of the squad was none else than the most technically gifted one in the team, playing mostly as a winger and a counter-attacking outlet to find Jamie Vardy and create magic out of nowhere. Riyad Mahrez. The Algerian wasn't a big deal before joining Leicester. Even though his dribbling skills were well known, he didn't make a breakthrough until he joined Leicester in 2014, and he was already 23 at the time. Previously playing for Le Havre, Steve Walsh noticed a hint of magic in him and acted immediately. He made the PFA Team of the Year for 2015 to 2016 season, scoring 17 goals for his team and becoming the first ever Algerian player to score a hat-trick in the Premier League, as he managed to do so against Swansea in a 3-0 win. Interestingly enough, the relationship between Mahrez and Ranieri was a bit shaky at times. However, this didn't affect them in a magical season that was 2015 to 2016. Aside from some incredible individual performances, perfect chemistry in the team, some luck was needed for Leicester to win the title. It just so happened that Manchester City were in a transitional season, just like Manchester United, who were recovering from Sir Alex Ferguson's departure. The North London teams, Arsenal and Tottenham, were the closest competitors, but they couldn't keep up with the Foxes. And Leicester not only won the title that season, but they broke the Gunners and the Spurs, who didn't get so close to winning a Premier League trophy since. And both Arsene Wenger and Mauricio Pochettino left the clubs a couple of years later. The wondrous run seemed actually impossible for most of the season. Even though Leicester were at the top of the league for the biggest part, everyone just dismissed them, just waiting for a moment for them to slip up, as Tottenham were on their back as the season approached its final hour. However, a legendary performance and a goal from Eden Hazard made all the difference in the world. Jamie Vardy, at this point a club legend, organised a party inviting the whole squad to his house, where they could watch Tottenham take on Chelsea. A draw or loss for the Spurs meant that the Foxes are automatically Premier League champions. It didn't look good. Tottenham took a 2-0 lead, but they spilled it all out when Hazard scored a banger to secure the title for Leicester. The Tottenham players were extremely nervous that day, receiving 9 yellow cards, but in the end, it didn't matter. Leicester celebrated their first Premier League title ever, and they were now engraved in football history like nobody ever was before or after them. This team was a story of an underdog performing a miracle at the very highest level. It's probably something we won't ever see in our lifetime again, but the run was well worth it in the end. The following season saw N'Golo Kante out of the door as the Frenchman joined Chelsea, where he won the Premier League once again. Riyad Mahrez was desperate to leave, but he only got his exit card 2 seasons later when he joined Manchester City, and now he's a key part in Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Vardy was inches away from joining Arsenal as the Gunners wanted to sign him. However, the player himself denied the move, expressing his wish to make some more history at Leicester. And against all odds, Vardy has outdone himself in the seasons after, and he was on the road to winning his first Golden Boot before the season abruptly ended due to coronavirus. Leicester looks like they'll secure the top 4 for the first time since the title-winning season, but this time with Brendan Rodgers at the helm. Claudio Ranieri lasted only 9 months after a historic triumph, and even the club owner, Vichai Srivaddhanaprabha, died in a helicopter accident just 3 years after he witnessed his team winning the title. Steve Walsh, the genius behind this project, ended up joining Everton, where he's struggling to put the pieces together. Leicester's secret lies in teamwork, hard work, some brilliant moments, and above all, players who played at their peak as they were chasing the impossible.
Never been eye to eye with Satan in the broad daylight. Gone left while they all sway right. A true maverick, unbothered by what y'all made right. A naysayer slayer, I'm filleting all daylight. Yeah, we in that upside down, I managed not to sink. They keep our eyes wide shut, I manage not to blink. Another decade or maybe they not faking. Maybe it's more to it, maybe we got taken advantage of. Either way, the damage is done. The bottom feeders get to eat all them glamorous crumbs. Where all them seekers of truth, the speakers of the youth. We come and go with the summers, keep believing in you. I know you